passing accuracy so he can play like LeBron. Just a great all-around build to help us get the dub today.
I have decided to debut a new build that I've been working on. So today, I am playing with a two-way inside-out shot creator, 6'4", 96 steal, 97 perimeter defense. I'm excited because this is going to be a little defensive.
It's going to be dangerous out here.
This is going to be dangerous.
We were chatting with Power and King Jordan earlier, and they were basically saying as long as it's them two together, they can pick up any random and get the W. So you really don't matter. Let's get into it.
Lexus, you always challenging me. You know I love it when you challenge me, so let's do it.
Had to wear the Proving Grounds jersey today for this gameplay because I'm pretty excited. All right, what's the game plan, guys?
We'll just play sides if that's possible. But
pass the ball, exploit mismatches, kick out. Yeah, we got him.
Yeah.
I'm just not gonna let them backdoor me because I know they're trying to do that.
Good defense.
LD, I got you.
Yep. Good defense.
Nice, get that rebound.
Let's
nice.
go.
Boom. Oh, they found me.
That was a good foul. That was a good foul.
Got good defense.
Jokes, which seems hilarious.
Okay. I see you, Power. Good shot.
Oh, missed.
Let's go. Good rebound. Good tipping. Let's go.
Let's go. I'm there. I'm there.
Tipping. Okay.
I see you, LD. Good way to play through it. Good stuff.
Yep.
Break. He can't shoot. Okay. I'm guarding.
Good pass,
good
Power.
shot.
Let's go.
Four.
Good rebound.
Nice rebound. Go
Good
on for
take.
the
Good dunk. Good.
That's right.
That the 98 dunk.
That 94 driving dunk.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
Switch that.
Yep. I was gonna switch it.
all. I got board.
I'll switch it next time.
Green.
I got you.
Yeah. Bang.
So that's just great. Funny.
Nice.
It's all about trust out here in the Proving Grounds.
He doesn't have that in his game.
We're good. I'm
You
going
don't
down
have
all the
that.
way now.
Yep.
Green.
Good shot.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yes,
Let's go.
okay.
Yep.
Power's carrying both of you.
Hey, that's fine. We playing as a team, Alexis.
Yep.
Stay off my back.
You got it? Oh, I'm going to go.
Watch your bitch. The bitch gets restless. Calm the bitch down. Sometimes a bitch will come earlier, sometimes a few days later. So if that bitch doesn't have good muscle contractions, by now you should know your bitch is pregnant. The bitch should be examined to make sure that all the nipples
You're just blitzing us like
are
that.
okay. Milk helps aid the bitch. Scissor and milk the bitch. Determine what is normal for your bitch. You should exercise the bitch.
Give me the pussy, I'm bullying shit. Hit from the back and I'm pulling shit. Had some smoke in the city, I wanted to see it, but baby.
Hit the rights anytime you want to.
I see you reaching.
It's all to you. It's all to you.
Unless she gonna drop on King.
E-commerce is booming, and if I cut your testicles off right now, you would have hot flashes, night sweats, osteoporosis, depression, low libido, erectile dysfunction, metabolic syndrome. Your weight would go up, and you would be generally pretty unhappy. It's a big deal when we castrate people. We don't do it for men regularly unless there's a very significant medical reason to do so, and yet every woman over the age of 50, her estrogen goes to essentially zero. Menopause is a castration event, and that affects bone health, it affects the brain, it affects the heart, it affects sexual health, it affects UTIs start to go up. And so it's a whole body event that happens. Now, testosterone is really interesting because it actually isn't at menopause that you lose testosterone. It happens in your 30s. So if you look at this graph, right, you can see testosterone starts to precipitously drop in your 30s. So what do we see clinically? Sometimes nothing, but we have a lot of people who will start in their 30s, mid-30s, late 30s, start to say, ooh, my libido's not as high as it used to be. My orgasm takes a little bit longer. I don't feel as aroused. My engorgement is not the same. And so people will start saying my libido's low. I'm starting to get more UTIs or bacterial vaginosis or yeast infections because the microbiome of the vagina changes because testosterone is important for the vagina and the bladder. And so this happens in your 30s and no one's paying attention. If I cut your testicles off right now, you would have hot flashes, night sweats, osteoporosis, depression.
I love that. I love that.
We got the W.
We did get the W. Good defense, by the way. The switching, helping, they were reaching a lot. So usually when teams reach a lot, that's like their only thing they're focused on. So we were communicating on the switches. Had a couple of matchups, but I love the defense from Jordan and Power. I know that if the guy gets past me, especially on the perimeter, Power's going to hold down there.
Sure as I'm sitting on this floor, man. A whole bunch of brothers and sisters don't like me. There's a whole bunch of white people that don't like me. Why do you feel there's a group of brothers and sisters that don't like me? Because there was a whole bunch of brothers and sisters that didn't like Jesus Christ. That's why. And ain't nobody ever been put on this earth that everybody liked. They done killed Martin Luther King, and the only thing he kept singing was, "We shall overcome in love and peace." Killed him, wiped him out. Killed Malcolm. Wiped out everybody, man. Just understand. And some cat hired 3 black cats to wipe out the man who was the martyr of our time. And when they killed him, he had half a church full of people. It wasn't like it was packed to jam. Because already he was losing. And he says it himself if you read his words. There's a whole bunch of niggas don't like me. White folks like me, but not the niggas.
The intimidation factor looms large. Anthony Davis is locked in, focused on winning. Trying to lead his team as they prepare to do battle inside.
You got access to be outside, right? So why you don't go in the hallway and whine like you do at 10 o'clock at night for no fucking reason?
Yeah, they do this show in Pearl. I be hating that.
The NBA on 2K Sports welcomes you to Wednesday afternoon basketball.
So the reason
Post Malone and
Meghan Trainor are struggling to sell tickets to the point that they are canceling shows is because their music was actually made and played.
Daniel Gafford is out there with
I'm Dion.
Then there's Irving. Then there's PJ Washington.
While I'm here, let me check out the stock market real quick.
You like the Darbo method.
Thank you, love. I live in Vegas. I've never been in.
I don't know if it's been an equal partnership. I've got a little more out of it than she does. But it's worked out for me. Really good. For her, it's hard more than expect. It's been all upside down.
We are each other's counterparts. I mean, the truth is that I probably would
now, here is
have been someone who stayed more put, right? Because I think I grew up with such a grounding here. That sometimes when you're so grounded, you're sometimes afraid to leave that situation. And I might have fallen into that. I think I would have had a beautiful life here, but I think it would have been small. I think I wouldn't have had the kind of impact. I think our girls, they would have thrived, but, you know, because of my husband, because of who he is, he offered all of us, you know, my mom, my family, just a broader sense of what's possible in life. You know,
This is saying what in prison.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that you provide the forward push that sometimes some of us don't have. And I think it's been good for me to be a little shaken a bit, you know, to be pushed to do more than what I thought I could do. And some of my first uncomfortable steps in my career, you know, leaving a corporate law firm, was because I met him. I was like, this guy, you're a community organizer? I was like, what's that? Never heard of that. He's organizing my city, you know? So he made me think more broadly about what I could do with this Harvard law degree, besides be a lawyer. And there was just so much. He gave me the courage. He was my ballast. You know, he was like, I got you.
They never look like
and
they're in a
however
rush,
hard
right?
it's
Even when
been,
you send
the ups and the
double or trap
downs,
the ball,
he's
the
got
stay calm and
you know,
know where to
he's
go.
like,
It's what makes
try
slowing
new
down their
things.
pick and roll.
Go do,
So
sometimes the stuff I do, he's like, look at you. But I can do a lot of these things because I know if I slip the ball or trip,
Well, Davis has built a habit of
so
rising to the occasion, so I am not surprised by his bailout there.
It's been I don't know if it's been an equal partnership. I've gotten more out of it. But it's worked out for me really well. For her, you know, it's hard more than expect.
And here is Washington.
oh, wow, you checked it.
And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline.
I don't do that operation. That operation is going to stay to plastic surgery anyway. The BBL. You're tucking your waist to make your hips bigger. So it's the buttock. So you take liposuction from one part of the abdomen, or the one part of the body, clean it up, and you inject it into the body. Here's the problem. There's little short blood vessels in that are kind of wide but short. They lead directly to the main veins. And if you inject fat, remember it's not blinding, so if you inject fat into one of those veins, and it gets into the vena cava, the main vein, and it goes to your right heart, to your lungs. What happens all the time? The most fatal procedure in plastic surgery. That's why you thought a vein in your butt will give you a heart attack? A fat embolus, it's called. Basically, you've heard of a pulmonary embolus, people die of a blood clot. Yes, same thing with the, it's the fat. It's fat instead of clot. It's fat. Now you're giving yourself a blood clot, a fat clot, a fat blob, fat veins in your arteries in your lungs, cuts off the circulation in your lungs. You can't oxygenate.
Here's the floor.
Well, if I say by the way, Google, look online how many celebrities, young, hot, famous celebrities have died this. Really? Oh, yeah, it just happened 2 weeks ago. Yeah. How many celebrities, like actresses, like social media? Social media? Not actresses, social media people. I don't do that operation because that operation is going to stay in plastic surgery anyway. The BBL. What? You're tucking your waist to make the hips bigger. So it's the buttock part. So you take liposuction from one part of the abdomen, or the one part of the body, clean it up, and you inject it into the body. Here's the problem.
Making plays on the ball. It's been a group effort, and that's what it takes to play the
Short
kind of
blood
defense that
vessels.
they play. Great showing from
They have a kind of wide and short directly to the
there's
main veins.
Then it's Butler. And it's
And
McCain
if
in
you
at the
inject
two-guard.
that, remember, it's not blinding, so if you inject fat into one of those
Now
veins,
here's Dinwiddie. After the miss from Joel Embiid. Fires the three. And that's good. Spencer Dinwiddie for three. Dinwiddie's got his first 3 points of the game. The 76ers trail. And Nick Nurse, Greg, the 26th head coach in 76ers franchise history.
And Kevin, known for his creativity and that outside-the-box thinking. I think it's a good fit with this forward-thinking front office.
So you take liposuction.
Here's Dallas.
Or one part of the body, clean it up, inject the body. Here's the problem.
Incredible around the
I don't do that operation. That operation is
so good at the rim.
You're
so
it's the buttock part. So you take liposuction.
That one's in. His
One
first shot
part of the
this
body.
game.
Clean it up. I don't do that operation. That operation is stable.
The ball. This man is surgical.
The
There's
BBL.
no way to slow him down when he wants to score.
Irving finds Lively.
So I don't do that operation. I don't do that operation. That operation is stable.
His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
And a long combo guard.
Well, it's the body. So you take liposuction
inside
or
like
one
a
part
bigger
of the
play.
body, clean it up, inject the body. Here's the problem.
Butler feeling
There's
out of
little
it.
short
Here's
blood.
Yabusele.
I don't do that operation. That
No good on
operation
the
is
triple.
stable.
Mavericks leading by 3.
The BBL. You're
Dinwiddie outside.
So it's the buttock part. So you take liposuction.
On the wing,
Or
Irving.
one part of the body,
Pass to Marshall.
clean it up, inject. I don't do that operation.
Embiid
That
comes with a
operation
double
is
team.
stable. I don't do that
Irving for
operation.
three.
That operation is stable.
It's hauled in by the 76ers.
The BBLs.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for
So
sure.
it's the buttock. So you take liposuction.
Outside Butler. No one near Edwards as he lets it fly. And they're unable to get the tying basket there.
I don't do that
The
operation
Mavericks have
because that
gone 3
operation
of
is
4
going to
for
stay
the
in
4
plastic
here in the
surgery
second
anyway.
quarter. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Dinwiddie outside. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
On a shooter like Dinwiddie, you have to guard close, but Dinwiddie challenges that defense and draws the foul.
The Mavericks shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line.
And going back a season ago, they were a pretty average team at the line, about 76% altogether.
Nice. I just want to know, what do y'all expect an 11-year-old girl to look like? Like, how do you expect her to wear her hair?
First one falls
because I just seen this video.
It up here.
Matter of fact, hold on. Now, keep in mind, these are little girls, 11 years old. They are in elementary school, 5th grade. Okay? The people in the comments, they are outraged. Now, Mom did say they don't always wear ponytails with barrettes or whatever.
He doesn't
they
get the
wear
second.
braids and crochet. You know, things that are appropriate for their age. The people in the comments, oh, that's a hairstyle for Cheetah Manning. This
And some
stops
good
at
action
3rd
through the
grade.
first 2 quarters as we
What?
reach halftime. Mavericks
This is the foul.
lead by 4. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Here with Nick Nurse. Coach, the efficiency wasn't there in the first half. What adjustments do you need to make?
Welcome to the Comment View Rooftop Series. I'm your host, CP. Get ready for new voices. I'm talking to about one time shooting. What you think about getting my body done? You think I'm going to get your body done before I get my body done? Comment View Rooftop Series, part of Comedy Fun Night. New series, Tuesday, June 30th at 9:30 on B.
My man was like, oh, man, like, you should play pretty cool. Let him spar in your face.
After this break.
Oh, why you say that?
Because that was rude to say to you.
I mean, goddamn, like, you don't believe it, right?
No, you shouldn't pray for the true people. Besides, black people don't do that kind of murder. So I don't even fit with your brain.
Yeah, that is when you sleep.
When you sleep. If you're talking about your face, I would say more seal. Talent. You're welcome.
I look better than seal.
Yeah, you do.
I'm 4.5.
Inspire Rose.
See ball here.
Shiny, pretty, and lovely. You got a bald head somewhere, I hope.
You know? Everywhere. Tell that. You don't care if I said that joke to me, and now you're going to make me live through that from the time again. They going to take that clip.
Oh, they can't do that. Take that out.
No, sit here.
And even with the defense,
I mean, it's like, oh, man, like, you should play pretty.
You can't see the baby unless I know every woman that's going in and out of his house. I say, well, wait a minute.
For him, but he
Do
just
not
makes
take
great
mortgage.
adjustments
that
on the
man's
fly.
home.
Getting underway in the second half.
She was
Here's the
like, well, I
five for
said, so
Jason
you're going
Kidd.
to take your child
Clay
away
Thompson
from
is out
his
there with
father
Kyrie Irving.
because
And there's
you
Davis.
tell him
Then there's
to
Daniel
bring
Gafford.
nobody
And
to touch my
Washington
baby.
in at
I
the
said,
small
that's a
forward.
grown man.
Shot
I
is
said,
good,
you
and the
decide to
Mavericks
sleep
lead
with
is
him.
cut to
You
just
decide
1
to let
point
him
on the basket
not
from
use him
Oubre.
and all the things, and you think he's going to let somebody come his child. That doesn't make sense. That means you chose the wrong person. That means you're making bad decisions. Because now that this baby is here and he decided to go in a different direction besides y'all being in a relationship, now he's such a villain. I said that means he was always a villain and you were making poor decisions, so you have to start with you. She was like, well, my baby won't know, and I'm going to just tell my baby his daddy didn't try. But that's not true. Because his daddy just told you, give him the baby 7 days, you get him 7 days, he get him back 7 days. But then the father also said, I'm going to pay half a daycare, you pay half a daycare. She said, I'm putting him on child support. I'm going, he needs to pay it off. And he tricking off. Whoa, this is y'all baby. And now at some point, yeah, if you want to have the baby the majority of the time, but she stops the child from going to see his father because she don't want to pay half of the daycare. I say, but is that your child? Like, he can't see the baby unless I know every woman that's going in and out of his house. I say, well, wait a minute. You do not pay
Kevin, thank
his
you very
mortgage.
much.
That is
Anthony
that
Davis
man's
broke
home.
his defense down for him. He said, I can block shots, switch on to anybody, guard the pick and roll, I can guard the post, I can guard the pin down. So that's
Let me show
my
you the
ability.
biggest Samsung
My
Galaxy
ability
mistake made by
defensively is to do everything.
Most people keep using it with full storage, and these three mistakes, I promise you that I can't make that promise. I promise you that I can't. I just replaced Chrome, GPT, and Claude with one single breath. Not better than regular wheels at going up or down stairs, or any terrain for that matter. So I ranked the spare wheels at number 2 on the leaderboard. But for the last wheel, I was determined to make a wheel that was even better and had an even bigger advantage than any other wheel. Because after riding the bike this bumpy, I wanted to make some wheels that made my bike have a super smooth ride. And here was my plan. I wanted to replace the spokes on my bike with springs. I figured that this would act like extreme shocks or something, which would, in theory, make the ride very smooth. So I got to work by cutting the spokes out of the wheels and modifying the hubs so that they could connect to the springs in such a way that if one of the springs were to break, it wouldn't shoot out at 1 billion miles per hour and hit me. And this was much more difficult than I had originally thought. But the next big problem I had was that it was super hard to get the springs stretched out onto the outer rim. So I ended up building this whole rig where I could fasten the wheel down and then use the mechanical advantage of truck straps to give me the help I needed to get all of the springs around the outside of the rim. And this was kind of a long process, but it worked really well. Anyway, after that, I was able to add on the tires, which popped immediately after I put it on. So I had to replace it and put on a new one, which also immediately popped and put it on. So I replaced it with a new one, and this one actually worked. Okay, here it is. And look how cool that was. It's actually super heavy. Obviously not as heavy as the saw wheel, but it's just out there in the center of my tension. They're a little bit wobbly, which is expected. I mean, it's literally being held there by a bunch of springs. I'm super excited to try it out. Here we go. I like the stopping stable.
Here's Irving, and the layup falls. Irving's got the lead up to 4 now for the man.
That's the kind of aggressive and assertive play they need as we get closer and closer to crunch time.
Maxey sets a screen for Oubre. Off target with his 3.
What's going on, man?
So it's Irving with it, bringing it up for the Mavericks. And he uses the glass on the lane. Now it's a 6-point Maverick lead.
I promise you,
And we will have a timeout called by Nick Nurse. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline.
I promise you, but why don't I get verified? I'm about to talk to somebody right after this to get verified.
He simply was trying to get the young man to take the bike up on the porch. And the young man let the bike fall and had a meltdown. And the mom, she's the person who shared the video. The young man, he's screaming and crying. He's probably 10 years old, 12 years old. He's screaming and crying. Because he's like, I'm going to hurt myself if I try to get that bike up on that porch. The dad calmly sat down and said, when you're done with that, screaming and crying, we're still going to tackle this task and get this done. The mom admitted this was the hardest thing in the world for me to do, to sit there and watch my son go through this lesson. She said, I cried watching this through the camera on the porch. He cried, and the more my son cried, the more I cried. But I knew his dad was equipping him for life. I did not interject. I didn't bother it. I didn't acknowledge it. I stayed inside and watched. And at the end of this video, the young man got that bike up on that porch and stopped crying immediately. His fears went out of the window. He said he was afraid he was going to hurt himself. As ugly as it is, as uncomfortable as it is, it's necessary. I can't say it's okay if it's not okay. I applaud you, though, acknowledging, because I agree. In the time about Eden,
a little over 2.5 minutes off the clock.
That lesson is coming. Now's not the time, though. But I can't give you a blanket template, because sometimes, man, I just rolled this car off the bridge because we were doing a trick, and I stuck my hand out the window and it flipped over. It turned upside.
Speed? No way. I didn't think I was going that fast. Just
trying to get home.
Don't be allowed. Standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. The defensive work they've done against Paul George has been a big factor.
This is the most realistic depiction of gaslighting that I've ever seen. It's from a show called Kevin Can Fix It. And it manages to illustrate ungained ways that gaslighting actually occurs within emotional situations.
When you get to be moody, what do you use that excuse? What's this month?
The term gatekeeper. In the story, a husband is
and it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. Paul George is out there with Kelly Oubre. Then it's Joel Embiid. Then there's Tyrese Maxey. And it's Grimes in at the shooting guard position. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. Guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Mavericks?
I'm liking the throwback approach. They're making use of the mid-range area and inflicting major damage there.
And they've also been steady from the three-point line and doing a good job creating room for their shooters and then converting.
And free throw good from Washington.
Kevin is not your typical. He's an egotistical, buffoon. He has convinced his wife that she was a partner of driving, that she's bad with money, and that she's generally into. Now, none of that's actually true. He has undermined her self-worth for so long.
Washington hits them both. The 76ers trail by 8. Maxey passes to Embiid. Here's Grimes. The 3. And it's Klay Thompson with the rebound. Right wing. Washington inside. Guarded by Embiid, and it's Washington missing.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Philadelphia moving the ball around. Pass to Maxey. Count that one.
When guys are moving the ball, sharing it, it makes the game so much more fun, both as a player and as a fan.
Outside, Davis. Back to Irving. That 3 off the mark.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Now, here's Maxey. Pass to Embiid. And they double up Embiid. Back to Maxey. Clock at 4. Over Irving. Maxey, no good. Mavericks leading by 6. A shot by Thompson and no one's around. Dallas again missing.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Here's Embiid. Rebounded by Gafford. Gafford's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Irving. And it's Grimes with the rebound. For Philadelphia, they've gone 104 since the end of the 3rd quarter. Pass to Oubre. Now here's Embiid, starting by Davis. Yes! And now they trail by just 4.
The guy you want to have the ball. Embiid, this man is a superstar.
And we've got a timeout called by Jason Kidd. And he knows there's no room for mistakes and wants everyone on the same page.
It's prime day. The mental health condition of men as a majority of this is very conditional. You didn't think I wanted something to drink?
These are the unexpected problems of the World Cup. Iran is the team suffering the most. They will train in Tijuana, but all of their matches are in the United States. And since they are only allowed to enter for the games, they have to fly back to Mexico as soon as each match ends. So they will constantly be dealing with travel. Japan had the worst training base in Monterrey. The pitch was in terrible condition. As a result, they searched all over the city for a decent field where they could hold their training sessions. Norway is struggling with the heat because they are not used to these temperatures. They even decided to train shirtless to better cope with the weather. In addition, they use ice packs around their necks to lower their body temperature. The Iraqi national team was questioned as soon as they landed in the United States, and it took some time before they were able to convince the authorities that they were indeed football players and nothing more. Switzerland's training ground is full of venomous snakes, and the team decided not to train until they found another field, which ended up taking quite a long time. These are the unexpected problems of the World Cup.
Well, I was able to listen in on what Jason Kidd went over with his team. Coach told his guys, lock in, this is it, leave everything out on the floor. A simple message down the stretch. Let's see if it resonates.
I don't know about you,
Thank you, David.
I got both faith in the species, the nation's culture. I got the
47 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And he sinks that one in the back of the rim on the way in.
And you got to admire Irving in these situations. Doesn't let pressure overwhelm him. In fact, he embraces it.
And we will have a timeout called by Nick Nurse. And that timeout by Coach was carefully measured, wanting to make sure that everybody is on the same page here.
Say that you would beat people and have fair thing to say. Individually, I love it. I mean, personally, me, for sure. But when they start to group, they get a bit flux. Versus groups, even a small group. They can get people change. You get bigger, 6, 8, 12, get a good most people they don't so favorite people. Soldiers.
43 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's George. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks.
You often expect him to convert these types of shots, but the D must have made their presence felt to prevent that one.
And so it's Irving. He brings it up for Dallas. 6-point game.
His second personal foul. 13 foul. At the line for the match, Kyrie Irving. 2 shots.
Twice.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
You know, Kyrie really does have some of the best handles in the league, which is why he is so devastating in a one-on-one situation. It's something you got to watch out for.
And so both free throws are good, and it's an 8-point game. And Greg, it looks like time is going to run out on him here.
Yeah, I mean, unless they come up with an absolute miracle.
There's 18 seconds left in the game. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
Shooting for Dallas, Kyrie Irving at the line for 2.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Gets the first, and that increases their lead to 6.
So you kept the team without the
Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one. Timeout called the 76ers. They trail by 6. And let's get your take, guys. What's the strategy?
There's still a sliver of hope.
We've seen teams come back from this before. Smart to take the timeout and get everybody focused on exactly what needs to be done.
My first thing was the concept of love. I ain't never just that we left that night. Hey, over. And we got all the time. That's nothing. You got angry, burning something. But to real kind of do the shoes. That was real. That's what she does. I thought she I use hurt kids and then I'm rich brother. I was going to my mom and did it. I ain't been. My kid with the tank. You need something? I'm like, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You go with like shit. Like, go back like cool. Okay, so now I'm trying to go with that kid. No, it's
"17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. To the paint. Kicks it out to Maxey. Lets it go from deep. Hands the three.
When it comes down to crunch time, Maxey wants the ball in his hands.
9 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And they need to stop the clock, so there's a foul.
That's right. No other option but to foul and look for some misses.
Two shots.
'First free throw is good, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
And that's curtains for him. Some really good work at the charity stripe to close this one out.
George, no good. So we see the Mavericks get the win here. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
And now, let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline for our player of the game. David, take it away.
Thanks very much, Kyrie. It looked like you were in an extra crispy special kind of zone tonight. How did you do it?
Man, well, the beauty is in the process. It's in the preparation. You know, before I get here, I'm trying to get locked in mentally. Just trying to come out here and put on a good performance, lead my team, do the best job I can. That's all I'm trying to do.
It was all on display tonight, man. Congrats on the win. Back to you.
Thank you for that, David. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Richard Jefferson, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. And now, our player of the game, Kyrie Irving.
Let's get to Rick James and then let's sketch about Prince. And I asked Prince to do the sketch, and he was like, no. But then he stalled it. He said he wished he had. And by all accounts, like by his own account, he loved that sketch. And the other thing about that Rick James sketch is Charlie made us show it to Eddie first. Saw him in Eddie Murphy's house with his brother. Eddie has a big screen room downstairs and he's sitting in like a big armchair with his back to us. And no one's seen his sketch, so there's no laugh track on it. Trying to show a real laugh track. And man, he didn't laugh once. And his sketch was like 10 minutes long, and I'm sitting behind him, picking myself, and then the sketch goes on, and he doesn't even turn around and look from behind him. I'd see him raise his arms like this. And then he turns around and goes, it was a red couch you break in on the PTOs. And he gave me the green eye, and he let us do it. And to me, it's one of the greatest sketches ever. You know, I used to see Charlie Murphy in Hollywood at parties. And I shouldn't say this, but one night, man, I'm sorry, I was out on mushrooms. But I go back and see the movie sometimes during the day. Oh, it is up in the daytime just as much as it's up at night. There's a biblical verse that said that God made two great lights, one to light the day, one to light the night. Ever since then, people associated the moon with just the nighttime. But the moon comes, you just don't notice it because the sun is dominating the source of light. 1973, Pink Floyd, album, The Dark Side of the Moon. There is a dark side of the moon. And I've been working round the clock since then to try to undo this misunderstanding of the both sides of the moon receive sunlight. A day of the moon lasts a month. So, yes, moon's around. Yeah. The June moon never gets very high in the sky. And it always takes on these, what is that called, these amber, yellow colors. So that moon, the June moon, is called the honey.
Cute. Oh,
Yeah, so that's the two most famous moons, the honeymoon and, of course, the harvest moon. I'd like to see the moon sometimes during the day. Oh, it is up in the daytime. Just you say you can try to hit it. Look, they got to kill them men up on these shows. You just come to a stalemate. This nigga's still in bound. He don't know how to talk shit. He just still in bound. I don't know if you ever hit him, but bro was like running into a little fire. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I told
Let's cook something for Ronaldo's first World Cup match. Here's golfers in the yard. Today, you being I think sometimes, me personally, because I have sisters and they are successful, and I see as a little brother, and I be in the corner just watching, I meet with them. You know, nigga, right? Whatever. I don't even stay around. I got those great candidates. You got my girl. Work her ass off, right? I think the biggest takeaway was just the awareness that he had. You know, just enough to really strike. You know, do nothing crazy. You know what you're doing. They're definitely sharp, man. They're definitely very defensive mind that you're playing. I just try to throw as many punches as possible. And it's like easy fire stuff just hanging out. You got your point. Time like this, you see him looking at you. I can't play. He was hurt. I think the biggest takeaway was just the awareness that he had. You know, just enough to really strike. You know, do nothing crazy.
Hey Sam, is there more things that you have? Which one am I starting on this one? I put it on costumes like
Something you slip from the Navy.
fuck are you? I always tell people, welcome to Atlanta really helped.
Welcome to Atlanta, Flames play.
Because when Welcome to Atlanta came out, it was really commercial. It wasn't the Atlanta sound. It was the most commercial producer from Atlanta, taking the most commercial rapper from Atlanta, Ludacris, and making a song for Atlanta like Start Spreading the News. Start spreading the news. That represents Atlanta. But if you were in the trenches, you probably didn't listen to that Atlanta. Welcome to Atlanta. But you did listen to When You In the A. When JD and Lucas had Welcome to Atlanta out, the city was a little frustrated because that wasn't our sound. Then Tip dropped When You In the A. And then he this is you in yes, so yeah, you hear When You In the A, you know that's what. Who's this? 7'4" big man from India. Somebody said I didn't get to watch all the time. I ain't familiar. Let's see this. Damn. No, we got a wave cap on. I think it was his head. Some kind of wave, yes. That's a. He went to his leg sitting up. Yeah. I think it seemed like it's a leg cap. That's. Shout out to that, whatever. All the disrespect. I couldn't see it. Bro. That's his culture. She got a feeling. The Dewey Blunt is insane. That's not about what I do rap. How's he a sophomore, bro? These kids ain't no sophomores. He played the kids, nigga. He's alright. Except for United that. Yeah, he needs to be playing 17 for sure. Because he out there foolishly. He got a chain on. We got a necklace on, bro. Everybody get that YouTube. This shit's out of pocket. I didn't know seeing 74 big man from India. Jack. We gotta get cuz. We gotta get cuz of this day. Jack. Hey. Jim Carrey, I knew how talented this guy was. But he kept getting these ratings that he didn't know. I'm not sure I got what's going on? You obviously don't know who I am. Kai's in it, you know Kai, and you know Drewski. The back. Kai and Drewski are in it. Drewski's the one in the back, like. Yeah. And Kai's, you saw him. He got the dread. You know him. You don't know either one of them? And I don't know how to pay for the front end. They played on the back end after the yeah. They look great to me. No, they don't spit it out. Let him cook. You know what I'm doing this club and nobody can know it. If you wouldn't have moved the coach, he said they had to pass it. Listen, you could have an entire night of Kai and Drewski's in our play moments, but I called him twice, man. They not I don't know. It's good. Let him cook. Am I going to handcuff or something? No.
You know Sam Bam Cunningham and his brother, 1971. There were no black players in the SEC. Robinson was at USC. He brought Sonny Cal to Alabama. Sam Bam Cunningham is 6'2", 250 pounds. There ain't a linebacker on Alabama that he was at to be. He ran for 12 carries for 160 yards. He ran over every Alabama linebacker, and by the end of the game, the whole stands was chanting, "1, 2." The game there was solidarity in the South. Okay, Cunningham's older brother, Sam Bam Cunningham. You know Sam Bam Cunningham and his brother, 1971. There were no black players in the SEC. Robinson was at USC. He brought Sonny Cal to Alabama. Sam Bam Cunningham is 6'2", 250 pounds. There ain't a linebacker on Alabama that even had to be. He ran for 12 carries for 160 yards. He ran over every Alabama linebacker, and by the end of the game, the whole stands was chanting, "1, 2." The game there was solidarity in the South. Okay, Cunningham. It's outrageous. A lot of people, when it's coming up, there's a lot of issue. And one of the reasons, give it to me for some reason. Because that's all you do. Because you're like, oh, some of these be out left. So at the same time, all the good music, when you hear it play, you remember, damn, man, that was the time I was over music, I was over the ring. That was the time I was being impressed. I was carrying Lady Fresh records. That was the time I was juvenile pipe band. That was the time. Man, she just had me, carrying the money in. So you this is all this shit on that dude. I ain't never told you all this shit like that. I'm telling you, I know. Why would you do this? Because you know what I've been busy. See, he been telling me these stories. Because, man, when I was down in England, I was staying in the English cash house. He just said, that thing. He keep connecting himself. That's works. He keep connecting himself. The only reason I get mad, don't do that shit. But I ain't never seen get me in no goddamn, in no PR position. No. You're not going to see a nigga when you're dressing in the middle of the night. That nigga was wrong.
You're not gonna see a nigga just room.
Lil Wayne Maytag, he was washing out on his clothes backstage. A lot of the music, when it was coming up, it's a lot of issue. And one of the reasons you connect with your music is that you're only doing, because he's like, I know some things be not left. So at the same time, all the good music, when he heard it play, he remember, damn, man, that was the time. I was over the music, I was over the ring. I was very fresh. I was carrying Lady Fresh records. That was the time I was juvenile pipe band. That was the time Little Man was having carrying bags of money in. This is all this shit on that thing. I ain't never told you all this shit. I'm telling you, I know. Why would you do that shit? Because you know what I said? See, you know they tell me your story. Because, man, when I was down in England, I was staying in the English cash house. He said, that thing. He keep connecting himself. Works. He keep connecting himself. The only reason I get mad, no, don't do that shit. But I ain't never seen get me in no goddamn, in no PR position. No. You're not going to see a nigga when you're dressing in the middle of the night.
You're not gonna see it.
Get my hair combed out, went through there, opened it up. It's not for the faint of heart. Day 5. I wasn't all the way convinced that he would be able to pull out his locks, considering he had such thick, long wigs. And his hair had been locking for over a year. When he got challenging, we just used more product. And I found that you didn't have to be as aggressive. You could just lift the products to do some of the work. I thought it was always beautiful that the real reason Jake grew out his hair was to show blue.
And her hair was like hissing. Let me rewind and tell you some backstory. Our daughter was about 5, and she wasn't feeling very confident about her hair at that time. When she told her father that, it inspired Jay to grow out his hair. Jay told me a few months ago he was planning on combing out his locks for the Philly show with the group.
Just like every time we see Ryan Day, he's like, oh, we got a guy better this year, wide receiver. And I'm like, you just had Jackson Smith get Marvin Harrison. It's like, how does it keep getting? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. We were at the draft, and we're talking to Coach Day. He's there for Marvin Harrison. And he's like, I got somebody better. And I'm like, no way. Marvin Harrison balled in college. Right? He was like, just a freshman, just played. Not to be crazy. And he didn't believe it. He was like, there's no way he's better.
They say it every year as an expectation. When you come here, you're coming to be first or second round.
With the 20th pick, with the 11th pick, New York Jets select the Arizona Cardinals select Seattle Seahawks select the Golden State select Jared Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jackson and Jigba, wide receiver, Ohio State.
So every time we see Ryan Day, he's like, well, we got a guy better than this year, wide receiver. I'm like,
I can't make my brother look bad. When he was there, we have to.
Is it wild to watch this documentary and hear that there are people like Stevie Wonder who have consumed your art, and that process that you just described is on full effect. I mean, he tells a story quite literally about how one of your records inspired
Shining stars and stars.
would change and inspires him
To write, I wish.
there.
Yeah.
And those two songs, by the way, changed the world.
Such an honor. You know, I didn't know that story. And then Questlove plays the I Wish. He plays Shiny Star.
I looked at all the silver I had. That's what I got. Did you do this at home? I did that at home, yeah.
really, you watched it on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You're a YouTube star. Is it pure?
I would like to think so.
Yeah.
I'll have the $15,000 test right together.
It's really, really pure.
Just beside maybe.
I'll clean it up here.
Yeah.
You were in a rush to get over here. That's why you didn't clean it up. This is it.
Oh,
And
perfect.
you should get it up to 100%.
That's perfect, man. I didn't even need to stand, see? All right, we're
All
going
right, Nick, let's wait. 688.54. 71.1.
Yes.
Cover Troy. So you have 22.13 in ounces. Let's look at silver.
All right.
Oh, dude, it went down. 65.74.
You said $70.
Yeah, it was at like 70. Basically. So 65.74 times 22.13. So it's 1,453. I still stand for it. I'm going to give you only 82% of that. I'm going to give you 1180. This one stands, right? All right, okay. You're going to put 22 OC, but vehicle stand, okay?
Okay.
And you're going to put, like, I don't know, Nate.
I got you. Check this out. So when my son was in, he had to be about 8th grade, 9th grade. Because they make my girlfriend come over for, a couple hours. I'm like, yeah, man, she can come over. So she come over, and I'm keeping a close eye. I'm like, y'all sit y'all ass in the kitchen on the couch, watch TV. Ain't no going to the bedroom. Ain't gonna be none of that. I'll leave them in the kitchen. So when I do come back in the kitchen, I'm making noise. I want you to know I'm coming. Just in case you try to do something sneaky, you need to get right. Like, we ended up about 2-3 times. I guess they had done got comfortable. So I come back and do that about the third time. Right in the living room, it's a bathroom, and I can see people now moving around, and I'm like, hey, come on, man, she gotta go home, girl. What's going on? Because it's stuff like that, I would have never tried with my mama. Coming in the house.
So you were cock blocking, Joe.
They was cock blocking like a mother. Let me tell you something. Boy, you think you finna bring a child in here, and you a child, you could hopefully. Exactly. Hell, we ain't doing that, no joke. I want you to check this out. So when my son was in, he had to be about 8th grade, 9th grade. He said, man, can my girlfriend come over for, a couple hours? I'm like, yeah, man, she can come over. So she come over, and I'm keeping a close eye. I'm like, y'all sit y'all ass in the kitchen on the counter, looking like TV. Ain't no going to the bedroom. Ain't gonna be none of that. I'll leave them in the kitchen, so when I do come back in the kitchen, I'm making noise, but I want you to know I'm coming. Just in case you try to do something sneaky, you need to get right. Yeah. Did it about 2-3 times. I guess they had got comfortable. Yeah, I come back to it about the third time. I'm like, lights off in this phone. Boy, it ain't no to the right of the living room is a bathroom, and I can see people now moving around, and I'm like, hey, yeah, come on, man, she gotta go home, girl. She gotta go home. But it's stuff like that, I would have never tried with my mama. No. Hey, how you doing?
It's my dad. Like, really my dad. He said, you deal with this every day. I said, like, we really live in the same house like my dad, for real. You know what I mean? Like, people be fake dads. Like, this is what really my dad. I'm so serious. Like, we eat breakfast together, like, turkey, bacon, eggs, this morning.
That's official.
Yeah.
You got some things your father bothers you about?
Oh my god. Like, so many on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, they're good things. They're good things. Happy Father's Day.
Okay, I didn't want to let the dog near the span. There's my time. I respect it. Now you like my things you the story of the body is wait to give you a sign. You have to like, no. But maybe even having no life. I started talking to her because she's kind of like you. She was just in the bed and stuff, and I noticed she's looking at his lip and turning around, looking at me lips.
Your niece said,
Like, I need some help. I said, don't worry, I got you. We sent him to the doctor.
you ever seen the video of Family Feud? The video, so he doing left side. You ever seen Family Feud? And the nigga is up there, and the lady had this CD.
The ones that he kind of said, each one, you were left in the right school, the weapons are done. And then he says this, he says, you heard it, put it Why do you think that upstate New York and New York City is separated so much? I'm trying to get y'all face extremely territorial, right? That's the tough surprise. Like, it's like, it's too hard for girls to each other. So to even unite outside of that, it's insane. Y'all only uniting for like a real strong cause, like the Knicks. New York, what other New York period? Not just New York niggas. So the Asians that's racist, that ain't close to the Knicks. It's crazy. They will never see New York repping Buffalo. If the Bills won right now, that means nothing for New York City. You understand? I don't think that upstate New York and New York City is separated so much. I'm trying to get y'all is extremely territorial, right? That's the tough surprise. Like, it's like, it's too hard for girls to each other. So to even unite outside of that, it's insane. Y'all only uniting for like a real strong cause, like the Knicks.
I was harvesting shrimp at night and running them during the day, and one of the other shrimpers turned me on. He said, hey, this building's abandoned.
Wouldn't it be fucked up if King dropped the album, man? For real.
I said, look, crazy.
If you drop the album right now,
I said, look, crazy.
fuck the whole little roll out of it.
I said, look, crazy.
What album? 41 song.
I said, look, crazy.
Pop back in the program, you said, man.
I was hoping
Wouldn't it be fucked up if King dropped the album, man? For real.
I
said, "Little crazy. If you drop the album right now," I said, "Little crazy. Fuck the whole little roll out of." I said, "Little crazy. What album? 141 songs." I said, "Little crazy." I think they froze. After that award show, they froze. I still friends. Yeah, they froze. They gonna lay it down. Okay, the single most impactful thing that I've ever seen. I was maybe 19 years old. I opened for Richard Pryor at New York Symphony Hall. And I got there early. I met Mr. Pryor before the show, and I could see, like, I was eyeballing him, but he wasn't feeling well. I just thought everyone knew he had meds. I just didn't know what it mix does for people, but I knew that whatever it does, it was doing it. And so I said to myself, you know what? I don't want to do good, but let me just take it easy, because it's like prevention. So I just did the housekeeping job. I got the crowd good and warm. They didn't want to see me anyway. They didn't want to see him. And then I get off the stage. He had the intro where his man goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, the most two beautiful words in comedy. Richard Pryor." Man, crowd goes nuts. And he goes out there, and you can tell early on that this was not his night. And maybe 30 minutes into his set, he stops. And there's something I didn't even know he could do. He looks around and he goes, "I want to do this for you guys." But he goes, "I'm not feeling well." He said, "I'm sorry." He goes, "I don't got anything. I'm sorry." Just like that. And then you could hear like a pin drop. And then this guy in the back of him jumps to his feet like that. He jumps up, he goes, "We love you, Richard." And the place exploded. Longest, loudest ovation like that. He went on, and he stood there. And then, okay, I'm young, right? But then I realized what I'm looking at, that this is his last show for them. They probably will never see him live again. And people crying like with tears out of their eyes, and he looked at it emotional. And to me, it was the first time I had seen like actual love. Like bouncing off the walls, like, man, they love this person. And if I had never seen that, I wouldn't even know that something to run. Because no one has like Richard like that. And when I saw that, more than any type of style, I'm like, man, I want to be like that. That was the moment I knew that phone was one of the things I wanted. But whatever the other thing Richard had, at that moment, okay, the single. Richard, are you mocking me with that outfit? Mocking you? No, I'm not mocking you, Judge. Well, then explain that outfit. Richard, Timberland came to the radio station in Atlanta and was like, "This kid I heard rapping on the radio." And Shaka was the manager at the time. He was the music director. And I was able to give Timberland my demo. And from there, that's how me getting on his album happened. I'll tell you a crazy story I haven't really told anybody. I was working at the station. I was not signed to a contract, so they could have fired me any day. I was the youngest person at the radio station, like 17, 18 years old. In order to go, Timberland was like, "I want you to come to Virginia. This is where I'm recording this album. But I need you to come like on random Thursday." Right? I was like, in my mind, I'm like, "Bro, there's no way I can take off from the station and fire me. You missed the next show. I'm going to miss the show." Yeah. So I had to tell him, God bless. Rest in peace, my grandmother. So my grandmother just died. I have to go to the funeral in New York. I used my grandmother to go record Fat Rabbit with Timberland in Virginia. I got up. Timberland came to the radio station in Atlanta and was like, "Who's this kid I heard rapping on the radio?" And Shaka was the manager at the time. He was the music director. And I was able to give Timberland my demo. And from there, that's how me getting on his album happened. I'll tell you a crazy story I haven't really told anybody. I was working at the station. I was not signed to a contract, so they could have. Juneteenth, we sit down. I don't like the rules. Before we communicate, we let them sit down. You gotta be literature. You gotta read the old black families you feel that black families should do on Juneteenth. I like made something about what it they see the picture. We had the big black coat, Dapper Daniels. No, this was the army, the military thought. You didn't have no money. You were poor as a mother. In this video, I think. This video I'm talking about, you was on welfare. I ain't on I said, that's deserved that, because I seen that before. You know, Dusty is hell. So when I see you clean, I'm like, oh, that deserved that. That's what I'm trying to say. It gets through. Yeah. Dusty. When I see Jada's real father, I said, ain't no man there that's nice as man that Dusty that look good like this. I said, he didn't do nothing that man told him to do. You should say, I said, that father was like a principal in high school. How the hell he have a dusty ass to bring the son like this? One thing I can say about Tanky is he's smart. He can box, yes, and he exposed. So, you know what I mean? I see that being Shakur took his fight because of the power. You know what I mean? Tanky was part of it too. Tank, him. Okay, everybody knows Tank punching, the skill-wise, and the mind. I would think neither one of them can outdo Shakur. One thing I can say about Tank is he's smart. He can box. Yes. I just want to do a public apology. I've underestimated your talent. You definitely did. And it's the shoulder pads that fucked me up, man. Nigga came out with some big ass pads this big, nigga, with some motherfucking pajama pants and shit on. No undershirt. With a turban. I'm fucked up. I'm like, you tell you what exactly happened. I mean, Jesse actually hit me to some mind games, stimulate and activate the left and right brain. Yeah, baby boy, you only funky as your last cut. Yeah, focus on the mask, your ass to be a ass foot. Yeah, on the tip out, he said that's when it's got to. Come on, man, this motherfucker be telling you exactly what happened. You know what I got on board? I literally took my glasses off. I said, nigga, I was watching it. This is a fake guy. I literally, that's how you made it. Oh, what the fuck? They went through him. Nigga, when I'm watching this nigga, don't wanna think about it. Don't wanna be your to being honest, that nigga was 5 minutes. I said, this nigga is musically inclined. I respect the shoulder pads now. I've been watching the teams mastermind the whole time. This nigga is a dick. So when that nigga said, I hope you got some ass, you been on the way to the club, jumping up, make him in the mirror and crash. Just like this. I just want to do a public apology. I underestimated your talent. And it's